Hello and welcome to the Gypsy Witch Magic Shop. This is Lady Alexandra. Today I'm talking about the origin and history of the minor arcana of the tarot cards. It is not known whether the major and minor arcana were created together or whether each was a separate tradition and they simply joined forces along the way. The minor cards are an often neglected but very important part of the deck, and in readings they add detail and fullness to the deeper, psychologically significant major cards. The major trumps give information and guidance on the seeker's inner life and psychological state. The minor cards expand this with details of relationships, work, creative potentials, strife, and success in a more specific way. The major cards are said to be spiritual, while the minor are regarded as mundane, and the court cards act as a bridge between the two. Once again, the root of the minor arcana's symbolism could come from various quarters, some of which have already been touched on briefly. Another theory put forward by Jesse Weston is that the tarot emblems, the wand, the cup, the sword, and the pentacle, were connected with the 4 Grail hollows or sacred objects found in the Grail Castle of Arthurian legend. Miss Weston thought that such arcane wisdom was a secret of the 14th century Knights Templar, who are believed to be privy to the inner mystery of the Grail. The tarot suits and the Grail hollows couple thus. Wand. The lance of Longinus, the Roman soldier said to have pierced Christ's side as he hung from the cross. Cup. The Grail itself, the cup used by Jesus at the Last Supper. Sword. King David's legendary sword of the Spirit referred to in the Old Testament. Pentacle. The plate from which the Last Supper was eaten. The 4 Grail hollows seem in turn to have descended from the 4 treasures of Ireland, the magical emblems of Celtic myth. These treasures of Ireland were said to have belonged to the pre-Christian Celtic gods known as the Tuatha De Danann, or the people of the goddess Danu. The chieftains of the Tuatha were expected by their people to maintain well-being and prosperity of the land through their supernatural powers. The gods were aided by 4 magical treasures: the spear of Lug, the cauldron of the Dagda, the sword of Noaga, and the stone of Fall. These 4 treasures show striking similarities to the 4 Grail hollows and the 4 tarot suits. Wand. The spear of Lug, a supremely versatile god known to his people as many-skilled. Legend goes that when he arrived, wishing to join the Tuatha De Danann, he was asked by the guard to state his craft. Lug replied, "Carpenter," and was informed that the Tuatha already had a carpenter. Lug added that he was also a smith, only to be told they already had a smith too. Lug then claimed he was not only a carpenter and a smith, but also a warrior, a harpist, a historian, a poet, a sorcerer, a hero, and many other things beside. Each post was reputably filled, but when Lug demanded to know whether the court had a single member who possessed all these skills, it seemed they had not. So Lug was triumphantly admitted to join the Tuatha De Danann. When we come to look closely at the flavor of each suit, we will see how admirably this tale fits with the suit of wands and their element, fire. The cauldron of the Dagda, the All-Father, could never be emptied, and no one left with his hunger unsatisfied. The Dagda was known as the nourisher of all his people, and his inexhaustible cauldron was even able to bring the dead back to life. This treasure is connected with the cups and their element, water. Sword. The deadly sword of Nuada, king of the Tuatha, was so powerful that, when unsheathed, no enemy could ever escape it. This suit of swords, associated with strife and battle, connects with this treasure, and the element, air, fits well as the element which seeks out the inescapable truth. Pentacle. The stone of Fal, the coronation seat of Irish kings, was said to cry out loud when sat upon by the rightful king of Ireland. The stone of St. Columba, a cross-patterned stone found in old Celtic churchyards, seems to have connections with the stone of Fal, which, like the stone of Columba, was also found floating magically upon water. The siege perilous is the Arthurian equivalent of the chair in which only the true high prince could be safely enthroned. This treasure combines the earthy and yet magical quality attributed to the pentacles and their element, earth. As can be seen from these similarities, the tarot seems to combine, in a way too striking perhaps to be coincidental, Judeo-Christian symbols and mysterious Celtic images. The same combination of Celtic elements and Judeo-Christian motifs emerged in the Grail romances, those mysterious and poetic compilations which began to appear around 1180 to 1200 and took European culture by storm. All that can be said for certain is that the tarot, like the Grail legends, reflects a synthesis of diverse currents of the thought and tradition prevalent in Europe at the time tarot first appeared, and it is possible that there is a link between them yet to be explained by historians or scholars. The Grail legends reflect a path of personal development and integration, which make it clear they are not merely stories but are symbolic of the process of striving towards self-awareness and illumination. In about 1250, the Church heavily condemned the Grail romances because of their pagan and heretical motifs. Although the idea is not proven, it may be that an explanation of the tarot's existence is as a pictorial version of these legends, coded as a pack of cards in order to preserve them. Thank you for watching. If you would like to order a tarot reading, please visit my shop, gypsywitchmagic.com, as well as my Etsy shop. Thank you very much. Blessed be.